I think it's just from what people that we showed the animatic to. What people thought so far is it's maybe a bit of a breath of fresh air. It's real voices and real people talking about these things and how they view them, not kind of the big businesses having to kind of use a little bit of propaganda, not in a harsh way, but these companies have to promote what they do. So whereas we have kind of people talking about how great wind farms are, and it's like, oh, well, I don't particularly think they look nice. And so you have really kind of authentic debates and discussions, not just one side of it. And I think that's what's interesting, because for all the kind of the mass amounts of companies that are in the energy world, they all have to feed into millions and millions of people around the world. So, and that's the voices that we hear. And hopefully the people who are the voices, just have enjoyed the process first and foremost. But I think hopefully they'll feel a bit proud as well if this film does go on and do really well, kind of helping lobby a discussion of energy. For us as filmmakers, I think obviously there's always a hunger to make the best possible thing you can, and when you're on a journey of such monstrous proportions with the kind of the ambition that we've shown with this film, it is just, you start getting excited about just showing it to the world, whether that's one person or that's a million people or however many it is. You just start getting excited about the possibilities of enjoyment people are going to get from kind of the style alone. So that's always great. You always want to make stuff that kind of people really enjoy, for whatever reason that may be, story-wise, technique-wise, or whatever. So that's obviously a huge part. And making these sorts of short films is kind of, I guess, part of upskilling ourselves. Always, I think you're always learning on a film. I certainly am always learning on any different film I go on, and also it's about advancing the careers. Maybe next one will be a feature film, or maybe the next one will simply get us, this film will simply get us to the next one, because as we all know in this kind of industry, you're judged by the last work you produce. So if it's as brilliant as we hope it will be, then people will be knocking on Bex's door for years to come, hopefully. I had the experience with the bigger picture where I saw the technique be as important as the story as well. People loved the kind of the life-size elements, the boldness of how we used animation in the bigger picture. And I think similarly, although in different ways, different scales, but still playing with perspective, I think this animation has the same opportunity. Because I love the fact that your animation audiences love the craft of filmmaking that can often get lost within live action, because you're just watching your characters and your actors who are brilliant. You forget everything around it and the constructs that you've kind of created, like lighting, setting it in a certain location, the set design. Whereas it's very different in animation. People appreciate, because they know you pick that colour to paint, you pick that material to make it with, you pick that scale, that perspective, everything. So it's kind of fantastic. Yeah, to some extent, I kind of guess that's true. There's only so much clarity you can give an image of live action, so what else is the 3D that hasn't really hit off? I think virtual reality it'll be huge for that kind of storytelling, but again, that's very different to really true sort of live action films that we watch. I don't think people will become bored of them by any means, but yeah, maybe they've hit certain limitations of what they can do, what they can construct. And I just love animate. The limits of animation are just kind of like, yeah, they are endless. You know, you can kind of have an idea and you can make it happen. You know, whether it's as simple as kind of like, I want to blow that car up. In live action, you're thinking, what, you know, stunts, money, you know, what do we blow up, things like that. In animation, you're like, how do we do that? How, or which way should we do that? You know, it's not impossible. Maybe it's a few more frames in drawing. Maybe you build in models and do what you need to do, and that's exciting. So there's always new ideas of how you use animation. Absolutely, I've seen with this new technique we're having, the new technique of the bigger picture. You know, things are always developing, which is it's an exciting sort of storytelling tool. Animation, because that's what they all are. You know, all these, whether you're live action and animation, really it's about storytelling. Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, that comes. I definitely pay attention to that when I'm working with any crew member as well, whether it's like the director, the writer. You know, they obviously, obviously have storytelling abilities, and that's what they do. But also sound design, editing. You know, it's kind of their storytellers in their own right as well. So that's what we're all here to do.